Sky Shadow 3246 asks, if you could put one more thing in front of the rocket sled, what would it be? The rocket sled at New Mexico Tech. This was I think a half or quarter mile long track on which you can put rockets and accelerate things to beyond the speed of sound and smash them into each other. And Cary Grant, Tori, and Jamie and I had many amazing adventures with that rocket sled. There's no more things that I desire to put in front of the rocket sled. However, New Mexico Tech had another thing that I did always want to use. New Mexico Tech, by the way, it is an engineering college in New Mexico, of all places, where you literally can major in blowing shit up. We worked with them extensively over the years, and they were a tremendous and wonderful collaborator. They gave us access to so much equipment and expertise, and the very final episode of Mythbusters and the final season relied heavily on their largesse and their great cooperation. But they had this device that was a set of air tubes with feeders into them that could accelerate something you put in the tube to, I think, 10 or 12,000 miles per hour, which is, that's like Mach 15 at the base. Yeah, this is like incredibly fast. And Jamie had this great, dumb, wonderful question. Like, how fast would a wet noodle need to travel before it was lethal? That I love. Oh my God, I love that story so much. And we talked about ways in which to get a wet noodle to 10,000 miles per hour. And I can't remember why we didn't do it. It could have been a combination of a whole bunch of different things. But yeah, that air cannon, and I'm guessing, I'm hoping I'm remembering the figures correctly. I did think it could go up above 10,000 miles per hour. I'm not positive about that. Don't quote me on that figure. But yeah, that is the piece of New Mexico Tech that I would love to have used. William Rayburn says, what was the best part about meeting President Obama? It was the whole experience we had with the Obama administration on Mythbusters was pretty amazing. It was amazing, first of all, when you deal with the White House. When anyone from the White House calls you, they're always like, everyone from the White House is smarter than you are, man. And it is like a building full of the smartest people I've ever met every time I went there. Second of all, the political ramifications of the tiniest things were really fascinating to us. Like, we couldn't call it Archimedes' death ray because the administration was afraid of using the word death. Those kind of things. We couldn't, this was one, right. We couldn't shoot Archimedes' death ray episode. This is the episode we did in conjunction with the Obama administration. We couldn't film so in order to do the ultimate test of Archimedes' death ray, this is a set of mirrors he supposedly set up on the walls of Syracuse to set fire to enemy boats as they approached. The idea was that all of these soldiers would be holding mirrors and they would aim them together and set fire to a boat. So we managed to get the cooperation of Encinal High School in Alameda, on Alameda Island in the East Bay. And 500 students came and volunteered to hold these mirrors, to be our soldiers. But we were not allowed to shoot on a weekday because the administration didn't like the optics of that the episode pulled kids out of school. Those kind of that's the part of really, I'm not upset about them making the call. I'm upset about the world where that becomes a news item because someone wants to get upset about it. Those sort of things were fascinating. The best part was dealing with the people from the White House and then meeting the president. I mean, I've met a few movie stars. I've met a few real movie stars, like big movie stars. And meeting that kind of charisma is always a fascinating thing. presidential charisma is another thing in and of itself. And I have never met Bill Clinton, who I've heard is like just you fall under his spell, apparently, and for better and for worse. But apparently a level of charisma that is like he glows. And I felt like Obama had the same thing. It was a real thing to be in the presence of that kind of prodigious mind and incredible communicator. And like I said, also smarter than you could possibly imagine. I will say that when the episode aired, of course, the opposition was painting it like the president doesn't have time to waste on shows like this. And we were able to point out that the president's entire participation in our episode was a sum total of 17 minutes. We came to DC to film. We were brought to the White House with all of our equipment, which is hilarious, having bomb sniffer dogs go past your whole camera equipment line when you know you've been at a bomb range only a few days before. Jamie's like turns to me and he's like, I don't understand how they're not lighting up like Christmas trees. And I'm like, ixnay on the talking about the Arms Bay in the White House way, dude. We came in with all of our equipment. We were ensconced in the White House library, which is downstairs. And we did all of our filming before Obama arrived. And then all he had to do was his medium close-up. So we did all of our dialogue without him, all of our responses to his questions. And then he showed up and he knew all of his lines. He nailed them all on the first take. I think we did the second take of one thing, but it was like one line. That was it. And then he took a picture with all of us and he was out 17 minutes start to finish. That was a level of efficiency that felt like good to witness, right? Like, yeah, this is what the people who are running the world should be working like this kind of efficiency, man. It is lovely to have contact and working relationships with the folks in the White House. And I did more work with them towards the end of Obama's administration. And again, like I said, I continually found a group of some of the smartest, most conscientious people I have ever met and have been lucky enough to call a few of them friends since then and even colleagues. It felt like being part of the solution. It felt like, a group of people pulling on the same rope to make humanity better. And that felt really like an incredible grace to get to witness firsthand, if even briefly. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support us even further, you can by becoming a tested member. Details are, of course, below, but it includes all sorts of perks, and we're building them all the time. You get advanced word and behind-the-scenes photos of some of our projects. Questions, you get to ask direct questions during my live streams, and we have some members-only videos, including the Adam real-time series of unbroken, unedited shots of me working here in the shop. They are weirdly meditative. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one.